Hello, my name is Dakota Benton, and today I will be speaking to you about why the issue with guns in America is not guns. By the end of this speech, I'm going to want you guys to hopefully understand the notion and open your eyes to the notion that we do not need to heavily ban or restrict guns in this country, but instead, we need to better enforce the laws we currently have in place. The deterioration of today's morals and complete lack of care or love for our fellow man have made us a society much more susceptible to these tragedies happening, sometimes on a bi-weekly basis. The recent mass shootings in America are nothing short of heartbreaking and rightly have people wanting answers and wanting to know what needs to be done to help prevent them in the future. The common thing for people to do is to blame guns and cry for them to be banned or heavily restricted. Now, while on the surface that does seem like the answer, with just a little thought and research, it very much would not solve the problem. And it would most certainly cause more of these events to happen in the future with even deadlier consequences. So, what is the Second Amendment and why was it put into place? Well, the Second Amendment was initially put into place to guard us as a free state against all evils, both foreign and domestic. So it was pretty much a direct consequence of the Revolutionary War against Great Britain. It was to get us out. It was to basically ensure that we would never have that happen again, where we had a government oppressing its people. That means that the U.S. citizens have a right to protect themselves from both governments, foreign and against our own, against tyranny, and against all who may look to cause us harm. This includes everyone from the neighbor down the street to a terrorist that may want to blow up the bus station, for example. The Second Amendment states, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." It is argued that this is our most important right, as it guards all the others. Ironically, while doing this speech, I learned something interesting. It was that gun laws have done absolutely nothing in places where they are actually the strongest. Gun laws in places like Chicago are so strict that it is literally about impossible to own a gun within the city limits as a normal law-abiding citizen. According to a recent report by CNN, Chicago has the highest amount of gun violence of any city in the nation, with over 750 gun deaths just last year. In just one city. That's insane. And that trend does not stop there. Several cities such as Detroit and Baltimore are also having shooting deaths on the rise as a result of these gun laws taking the guns out of law-abiding citizens like you and me. The vast majority of mass shootings that take place are also by those who have illegally obtained their guns in the first place. Let's see, shootings like Columbine and the Las Vegas shooting about a month or two ago are two perfect examples of that. Those guns were illegally obtained by those individuals. Therefore, more gun laws wouldn't have done a thing in these situations, as laws currently in place should have already prevented these people from getting the guns they used in the shooting. One of the biggest arguments for gun control is the simple fact that we have police with guns. Why do we personally need them? Good point, but the answer to that is actually very simple. According to the Independent Journal Review, it takes, on average, as of 2013 at least, it takes about 11 minutes for a police officer to respond to the call you make from your home whenever you're in distress. If an intruder is in your home, your chances of coming out alive or unscathed are dramatically reduced if you do not have protection of your own. 11 minutes can seem like hours, let's be honest, in that situation. So, what needs to be done instead? We need to do something. This is a major issue. Instead of more gun laws, what we need to do is we need to advocate awareness for mental illness, which is a major issue in this country. We need to fund programs that both advocate awareness and treat what can be known as a disease. We also need to better enforce current gun laws, as scarily enough, a lot of them are being lazily enforced. And then lastly, lack of proper gun education to both help prevent the accidental deaths that occur every year with both children and adults. Also, we need to bring up our children to both respect what a gun is and also what it can do. So, to sum it up, recent mass shootings have indeed caused alarm in our society, and it most certainly should. However, the notion to restrict guns further is only going to make the situation worse. There is a reason why the people who commit these terrible acts are called criminals. It's because criminals do not follow laws. Criminals, if they don't follow laws, why are they going to follow more gun laws? It makes no sense. The people who will follow them, however, are law-abiding citizens like you and me. And we're the kind of people who we wouldn't commit these terrible acts in the first place. The only thing that would be accomplished with more restrictions is disarming the law-abiding citizen, making the whole situation worse. So, what needs to be done instead? Well, instead, as mentioned, we need to we need to fund programs that advocate awareness of mental illness and help treat it. We also need to fix and better enforce our current gun laws, as there are several loopholes and ways of people getting around them to get guns anyways. And then lastly, we need to bring up our children understanding what a gun is and what it can do, and teach them how to properly use it. All of these things, I believe, will help curb this issue. The world has indeed become a very scary place, and a lot of the time the best way the best way a person can get protection is if they do it themselves.